All right, well, hey, good to see everybody. Thank you for clicking on the video. And so it's Sunday morning, and I'm editing. So we're going to pick back up working on the air tank. So in the last video, we got it all mounted, and now we're getting ready to start. What are we doing here? Oh, we're going to put this main supply line on it and get started bending some aluminum tubing. It's not something I normally excel at, but I figure it out. So we're going to get right to it with, I just got done putting the tank on and, well, sitting it in place. So you figure it out. Here we go. Shoo! All right, so you just saw me kind of wrestle this thing in place. I decided at the last second that I wanted to put some of this topper tape stuff between the bracket and the tank, which, you know, I don't know why I didn't think of it before. Obviously, I don't want metal on metal right there because it's just going to keep vibrating against it and wearing all the paint off and eventually wearing into each other. And then, you know, we already had the topper tape on the straps. Now, I knew when I put the straps on, it was already going to be kind of tough, you know, because that stuff was so thick. Now, it squeezes down real easy, but the thing is, getting it to squeeze down, because when I test fitted, I didn't have it on there, so that's where I cut and I made the straps to a particular length because of it. Now, I know that this stuff will squeeze down, so like right now, you know, where they're coming together, I use a couple quick grips to pull them together. And it's pulled down pretty good, but the thing about it is it doesn't necessarily pull it all the way down evenly. So I tried to like push down on it and push in on it, you know, all the way around the best I could to kind of start working that slack toward, you know, the open end there. And I've got it pushed as far as, I mean, I already cut myself sliding my hand around the outside of this thing. And I've got it, I mean, it ain't even all the way around, but I mean, it's there. It's squeezed pretty snug already, so, my phone's ringing. Let me go grab that. And I'm back. So, long story short, I put the clamps on it, and the original bolts that I had for it had some really nice, like, stainless cap screws I wanted to use, but they're just a little bit too short to pull it all together right now. I left them clamped up, and I ran up to Home Depot, and I got some longer ones. These are just some regular old galvanized 5/16 bolts, nothing special, but they should work fine. And I got some lock nuts. So I want to try to put these on and snug it up and then let it sit for a few days. And then, you know, kind of let this, this foam kind of learn, you know, where I want it to be with it tightened up. And then maybe I can take it loose and kind of restrap it, kind of reposition it, and put the other bolts on it that I really wanted to use in the first place. So, all that being said, let's see if I can wrestle and put these bolts in place. I got my impact and I got my washers and my nut and everything right here ready to go. So, hopefully I can get this bad boy bolted in place and we can start putting our fittings and figuring out what we want to do with all our fittings and airlines and all that good kind of stuff. So, let's get to it. Alright, so it is clamped up. I feel like the front is a little bit tighter than the back, but like I said, I'll come back to this thing in a couple days and you know, let it sit like this for a couple days. Then I'll take the straps loose and I'll kind of, you know, reposition them, and hopefully that stuff will already be kind of compressed and it'll want to hold its shape, and we can kind of go from there. Dadgummit, you know what I just realized? I just tightened them all up and I didn't make sure that I had this exactly the way I wanted it, so I'm going to have to loosen them up at least a little bit so I can roll it back over with the touch. Let's knock that out. I'll knock that out and then we'll come back and we'll be ready to put some fittings on here. Alright, so air tank is mounted. You see I got the truck up on jack stands, got off the ground a little bit there, so I've been staring at it for a while trying to figure out where the best place to start was going to be, and I'm thinking it's right there. That is our main feed line from our compressor at the front of the truck. So I figure we got to start somewhere, right? So might as well start where the air is going to come in. So I got the truck up on jack stands so I could get this step off of it. So you see, there's our main line that's coming back from the compressor. It is already, you know, kind of routed away from everything safely down through there to right here. So now we just got to get it from right here all the way across there and over there. And we got to do it safely so it's not going to be in the way of a flatbed or anything that could damage it along the way. Now, moving on to our air stuff. Basically, all we gotta do is find a way to get all that on there. Seems easy enough, right? So we just got a whole bunch of valves and aluminum tubing, air horns, we got a water separator, we got a little bulkhead right here for pressure fitting, and just all kinds of goodies. And we got a few tools, and then we got some cord over there for our switches, and we got a ground block, all kinds of fun stuff to do. So now let me throw you back on a tripod here, and I'll show you where we're gonna start. All right, so like I showed you, we got our little piece of our line right here. So I got to kind of clean the inside of it just a little bit. You know, for that, just use my trusty cutter here. It would have been a really good idea had I done this before I cap the line off, because whatever little debris right here is going to go directly into my tank if it doesn't somehow settle into my, if it doesn't, maybe I can flick it out. Hey, look at that. That works quite nicely actually. Yeah, so that way we got a nice clean edge here from our cut. Get out of there. Nice. All right, so here is my water separator. Now this is nothing particularly super special. I bought it off of Amazon. It's got the proper working pressure that we're looking for. All is well, good to go. It did not come with the mounting bracket. I was a little disappointed in that. Had these holes in the top. You had two there, I don't know, these are like a size 10 maybe, and these are like a size 8. These two outside ones were a little bit deeper, so I ran a tap down in them, and I tapped them to 832 because I had some little Phillips head screws that would work for that. I'm just going to dab a lot of Loctite on them, and then I whipped up this bracket out of some I don't know what that is, 1/8 inch, but that's probably a little thicker than 1/8 inch. 3/16 plate that I had, and it's got an arrow on the top, tells you which way that the flow goes, and this guy just kind of screws on here like so. Oh boy, it looks like I really screwed up good. Oh man, how did I do that? See, this is what happens when you don't pay total attention to what you're doing. I spent all this time making this bracket, drilling all the holes, painting it, make sure all the holes lined up and everything. And then when I went to bend it, I didn't pay attention to what I was doing when I bent this 90 into it. And I just threw it in the bender, I just chucked it in there and bent it. Well, I had a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Look what I did. I did not get it right. And even close to right. I should have been it the other way. So now, golly, man, I painted this thing, went and watched a softball game and everything while I waited on it to dry. And now we're all the way back to square one. So now I can do one of two things. I can either drill 2 more holes in it, or I can cut it right here and re-weld it back together. I think I'm gonna go with the drilling 2 holes in it. So I'm gonna go over to the bench now and drill some more holes in this and pretty this bracket back up, and then we'll come back since I'm an idiot. Golly. Hi, it's me. So it's the next day. So I went over and I had to grind all that old paint off of that bracket. It really didn't, I don't know, it never really got hard anyway. It was really sticky and gummy and thick, and I don't know, it's kind of a mess. But I went over and I got me some new holes drilled, which actually I did a lot better job of drilling these. They're actually the right spot where they're supposed to be. So it all lines up nicer on our water separator here. So getting back to where we were, we've got our hard line right here. So we're going to slide our little nut here and our ferrule over top of that. Then we're going to stick this guy up here, and I'm just going to kind of hand tighten it first to kind of see where I'm at here. There we go. So now I can kind of get an idea for where I'm at as far as my bracket goes. I'm actually not in bad shape. Let's see. It looks like I could stand to cut just a wee little bit off of it. That's going to be really tough to do. Let's see. Yeah, because I don't think I can. I didn't bring my little screws over here with me. I don't think I have enough adjustment in this bracket. Nope. So it looks like I need to cut about, shoo-wee, not much, 1/8 of an inch, 3/16 of an inch off of this piece of hard line right here, which is really tough because that is near impossible to do with the way these tubing cutters work. I don't know. Let's see right quick. I don't think it'll do that because the way it's set up, you see, you got one side that's supposed to sit to the long side. No, because you see how far in you got to be. I don't think I can. I don't know. It might. Let's see. Looks like I can probably cut 1/4. I can make it work if it'll cut that. I think I can make that work. Now I am fortunate that this aluminum tubing is very easy to kind of bend and manipulate, and like to move out of my way a little bit, like I'm doing right now. Not really bad to cut either, honestly. Let's see here. Now I still got to drill our little frame bracket right here to get it where I can bolt my bracket for my water separator up, but I got to kind of get all this obviously mocked up in place so I can figure out where those holes need to be. Ooh, about got it. Yay! Now we'll go over and clean the debris out of our hole again here. This thing's really sharp. On steel it's not too bad, but on aluminum it cuts really easily. I have to be careful with it because it won't want to leave a burr on it. Sounds like my son's vacuuming his car. Be nice if he vacuumed mine. Yeah, that'll happen. All right, so back where we were, except 1/4 of an inch shorter. Put a nut, ferrule, and like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and tighten this all the way down. Right now I can still slide it in and out if I need to. Oh yeah, that's gonna work perfect actually. All right, so let me go get my little screws right quick. So I'm not gonna go ahead and Loctite these guys down or anything just yet. I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of run them in and snug them up so that I can figure out where I need to drill the holes, because this top of this thing is like made of cast or something. It is so soft. Crap, I left one over there. Yeah, so the top of this little water separator is like uber soft. So whenever I get ready to actually install it for the final time, I'm just gonna glob a whole lot of Loctite down in there and hope for the best. Now, I'm also going to, I've been staring at it long enough, I've kind of got a good idea for how I want my line to run. So it's going to actually run right here, then it's going to turn 90 degrees up. You see this piece of wood right here? It's actually going to turn 90 degrees and go across the top of the frame straight to the other side. So if you remember, I took a piece of aluminum and drilled holes in it and made like a little strap, like a little mount for the brake lines and fuel lines. I'm going to do the same thing right here and then one on the other side. So it'll be supported right here and it'll be supported on this thing, plus it'll be supported by that other piece that I've got holding that line up there. So all of those together, plus this little bit right here, should hold it nicely. At least that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. I put it on backwards. I'm tired, y'all. It's been a long day. Shit. All right. Once again. Oh yeah, that's like perfect now. Oh yeah, that's real nice. I like that a lot. Let me look under here. I'm gonna look under, see, and look at the line from the side to see if I'm kind of running parallel or uphill, downhill. I guess I can move it up or down. So I guess the thought process is, if I set it where it's running downhill just a little bit from the front, any moisture that's up there will run to this point, which I guess is what I would want. Maybe just a slight down angle. You know what? It really ain't gonna matter because I'm gonna be moving a truck up and down any damn way. So I'm gonna eyeball it to where it's parallel to the frame rail. Let me check it right quick. Wish I had a quick grip or a pair of vice grips right here on hand. Yeah, it could come up just a little bit. Lucky it fits tight enough right there that, oh yeah. Man, that thing came up a long way. It fits perfect. Ah! Okay, I'm gonna go get a quick grip. I had it perfect, then it fell. All right, let's try this again. I'm thinking about right there. Let's see what it looks like. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so that's where we're putting it. Make sure she's kind of, I guess if I'd have brought a level or something, I could have. I'm gonna go grab a level. I can stick on the side of it right here and at least try to get it. You know what? It ain't gonna matter. The bottom of the damn thing is, it is what it is. I'm about to mark it with my Phillips head. I'm tired. It's been a long day. It's been the Mondayest Monday of ever. I really hope this is marking it. Yeah, I can see it. It marked it. Oh yeah. Okay, so next step now, I'm gonna drill me some holes so we can mount this guy up. And so I'll go ahead and show you, because I'm gonna go ahead and do it while I've got it over on the bench. So our next step from here, we're gonna have to put this nipple in right here. Then we're going to put our check valve. So basically it allows air to flow this way and not flow back this way. So that's gonna go right there. Then we're gonna get our compression fitting for our 1/2" tubing. I'm gonna put him right there. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and Loctite all of these pieces and put them together over on the bench, because remember what I said about the top of this being a really soft cast? I don't wanna be really twisting, trying to use these screws to hold it, whereas I can kind of put it in a vise and tighten these up without putting too much pressure on these two screws up top. I got a nice little hex head right here. I could put a wrench on or something, or like I said, I can put it in a vise, and it'll just be a much safer way to do this without putting too much stress on these. So I'm gonna pop these two screws out. We're gonna go over here, I'm gonna Loctite these, tighten them up. Then we're gonna come back and we'll drill these two holes. We'll come back and stick all this together. So let's get to getting. So, moved it a little bit so we can see. Now you see, we got that mounted. I got my step put back on because we're done in that area now. I did go ahead and attach the line to the other side of it and got it all tightened up nice and tight. Now you see I got that ruler laying across there. So basically what I did is I've kind of got my fittings kind of roughly figured out right there. I've got kind of a junction block right there. I'll show you a little more about that here in just a little while. And a 90 coming up where we can go across the top of our frame rail there. So I'm gonna come out about 8.5 inches from there. I'm going to make a 90-degree turn up, then a 90-degree turn, come across the frame right here, and go straight into a fitting that will be mounted right there. Now, so look at me. I am super proud of this guy. So, I am happy to say I did this on my first try. And yes, it's not super complicated. It's two 90-degree bends, but one thing that I always struggle with is understanding the center line of the radius when using the bender, which is essentially the distance from where you start your bend to the inside of your radius when you finish your bend. So notoriously I'll like mark, okay, so if I want to make my bend at 9 inches, then I put my start right here at 9 inches, and then when I go to bend it, well, of course I'm longer than 9 inches, so you know I had to go back and I had to measure and figure out what my center line radius was, which is 1.25 inches on my bender. So then I'm able to come back and I'm able to go, okay, well, if I want to be at 9 inches, so then you know I want to actually, if I need my bend, if I want to finish at 9 inches, you know, right here, then I want to actually mark my 9, but then I want to come back 1.25 inches. That way when I bend it, I'll finish where I want to be. So you have to figure out where you want to finish, not where you want to start. I mean, I guess you could do that either way, but I hope you understood that. I also notoriously overthink things, but I'm very happy that I got them both. I got them where I want. I got them the length that I want. I did go ahead. We had to put a 1/2 inch nipple in my tank right here. I had to put this little junction block on it right there. That is going to house my pressure switch, my the fitting for where we're going to read our tank pressure for the gauge on the dash. And then also we're going to put a fitting in it that's going to power my air horns. So I'll have another 1/4 inch fitting there. So I did go ahead and Loctite all that, put my 90 on there. I've got my compression fitting right here. Got my compression fitting down here on my water separator. Golly, I know I'd get there in a minute. And this stuff, this tubing, it comes, as you saw on the table earlier, it comes in a big old spool. I think I buy them in 25-foot spools from Summit. It's not that expensive, but I did buy a tubing straightener. It's like got these wheels on, like 4 wheels on it from Amazon. It helps out a lot because when you go to roll this stuff out, it's all messed up. And you roll it down, roll it through the straightener, and it does straighten it a lot, but I still have to go back up through it and look down it and kind of go back with my thumbs and kind of to get it where it's really straight. It's still not perfect, it's still a little bit wonky, but you know, I get it as straight as I can by hand. But the little tubing straightener from Amazon does help out. It was pretty cheap, and it does help out a lot. So look at here. Boom! Slides right in there, right where it's supposed to be. I'm super happy about that. Now remember I said I was going to come back and going to put a little aluminum like a holder to hold the tubing, you know, to hold it firm right here. And it'll mount to the top of the frame. I don't know if I'll do one on the other side or not. I'm probably going to have to do one that will work for for every one of the pieces of tubing. Well, I guess that I was going to go into whether or not I run these up there and run them over, or if I just shoot them straight over and then that way. I don't know. We'll sort that out in a minute. Right now, next thing for me to do. Man, see, I'm actually looking right now. I might have missed this by just a little bit. It might be just a little bit higher. I don't know. It might not be. Hard to tell. It's pretty damn close, and I'm really happy with it because, like I said, this is something that I really struggle with, and it took me just kind of sitting down and taking my time and doing the math. And it's not perfect, but nothing on this truck is. nor will it ever be, but I'm really happy with it so far, so we gonna keep it pushing. So let's put these on and get this all buttoned up right here, and then we'll jump over there, and we gotta put our pressure switch in. I'm not sure what else I got over there. Then I don't know, we'll figure that out here in just a minute. I'm gonna button this up right quick, and then we'll move over there. I don't guess you really need to know. Now, I will say, I have found two different types of compression fittings here. I don't know. Some of them I got from Home Depot, some of them I got from Lowe's. I guess that's what the difference is. Some of them they've just got a really thick ferrule on the inside of them, and you just slide that over there and you tighten down on it, and it's good to go. This one has got a little bit different hex head on it right here, and it's got a really long ferrule inside it. Right now I can't seem to get it to push out of there. It's skinnier, it's a thinner ferrule, but it fits on there real nice. And it's got this piece right here that kind of goes in the center that will help it kind of mushroom up, I guess. Now, I guess I will say this thing might take up a little bit of space on the inside of the 1/2-inch tubing. Yeah, I guess it definitely would, actually. Huh. I don't know if I can use this without that or not. Did I already use one? No, I've got one here. I've got one there. So this being the compressor side, it's not going to matter because this is going to fill until it gets full anyway. So I kind of like how it works. I don't know if it's better or worse. Hopefully it seals up good. That's all I really care about in the end, but pretty neat though. All right, so like I said, I'm gonna get to buttoning these up right quick, and then we'll jump over to the other side. We'll start formulating a plan over there. So, see you in just a second. Well, hey, there it is. We are rolling. So hopefully, I know some of the videos get a little bit monotonous. It is how it is. I mean, shit, that's just part of it. Sometimes when you're working on jobs like this, as you well know, if you've already built something, it gets a little monotonous. I do the best I can to make it as entertaining as possible. You know, sometimes some jobs just got to get done. But this one, there was a lot of small things in there that, you know, hopefully will help somebody if they get to do their own project like that. And it gets a lot cooler from here. We got to make a whole lot of aluminum lines and really kind of get more in depth with how all the air suspension is going to work and how it all sets up. And really just kind of, you know, powering the rest of the way home to get this truck done. So appreciate you tuning in to watch it, especially if you made it to this point. Hope you come back and watch more. As always, throw in the comments if you like something, if you didn't like something. I'm good either way. Let me know what you think, and if you think some ways that I might make the videos better, yeah, throw that in there too. And so I clicked the other day on one of my videos on YouTube, and I noticed that for some reason the quality looks kind of grainy and a little shitty, to be honest with you, and I don't really know why. When I upload with the highest quality available. My cameras are high quality. I'm not really sure what's going on there. I don't know if it's, I don't know, but I am going to look into it and see if I can get it better. So hopefully the next one is better. If not, I promise you I'm working to figure it out, and you know, tune back in for more, see if I get it fixed, see if we finish the truck, see how the truck looks. Tune in. See you soon.